If we could start with team news.
Yeah, we've got Johnny will be fit for selection, and Yak as well. Obviously, we thought Yak was appendicitis. Luckily, it wasn't for us, so everything's good. So we got a couple of decisions to make Saturday.
How much of a boost is that to have Johnny back?
Well, it's massive, and obviously Yak as well. Yak has been outstanding this year for us, so to have them back on board, it's really, really good.
Chris Brunt has signed a new deal. Why did he deserve that?
Well, Brunt has been, since he's come back from his injury, he's been absolutely outstanding. He's a fit lad. He's got back in the team and really, really played well. So, it's all good news, really. Morrison tomorrow could make his 300th appearance as well. We've sold out, taking 3,000 supporters there. So, things are looking up.
You mentioned there James Morrison could make his 300th appearance. He's in line for a testimonial this summer. Brunt now also, they might have a joint one. It's unusual to have one player having a testimonial these days, let alone two.
Yeah, I think the club has had good service when you look at, even if you bring the other players into it. Jonas Olsen has been here a long time as well. Ben, Bo, people like that have been real stalwarts for the football club, and two lads that you've just mentioned now, obviously being 10 years here, it's a great achievement, and it's fantastic for the football club. It's great for them as well.
Is that important, stability? Do you think?
Well, stability. You need stability from players who are good enough to maintain that stability and maintain the improvement that you're hoping to make as a football club.
And James Morrison, as we mentioned, in line for his 300th appearance, and he's been in great form, hasn't he? Scored the goal last weekend.
Well, again, similar to Chris, he had an injury and he struggled a little bit with an injury. Fitness-wise, now he's over that, and his form has been, very, very good. With him and Chadley in the team, we've got people who can open the door and can see a pass, and when they're in there, they can actually finish chances as well, which is, it's been a great help for us.
That 1-0 win over Stoke, what did you think to the performance?
Yeah, I thought we deserved the win. I thought first half, the disappointing thing was that we never came in having scored maybe 3 or 4 goals. We had 3 or 4 great opportunities to score. And we defended very well. We knew, if they were playing Crouchy, they were going to play long up to Crouchy. And it wasn't the first ball we were concerned about. It was the balls that were coming off him. And we worked pretty hard at that for 2 days and to get a clean sheet. Again, the forwards and the forward play will take all the credit and everybody will see that. But defensively, we look very sound as well.
Next up, West Ham. What are you expecting from them? A different kind of game? Or?
Well, it'll be a tough game. I think they've got their mojo back a little bit now. I think the problems that they had early season it seems to have been washed away a little bit. And I know they didn't perform very well against Man City, but Man City can do that to anybody. On their day, Man City can pulverise most teams in this league. Apart from that, West Ham have shown signs of regaining the form they showed last year. So we know it'll be a tough game. My first visit to the Olympic Stadium, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm sure the players are as well. And we know it'll be a tough game. They've had a great result. We've had a couple of good results as well along the way, so it should be a good game.
Besides that defeat against Man City, they had 3 wins out of the last 4. It seems to suggest they're not missing Payet at all.
Well, they've come through that stage and they've come through it with flying colours. And like I say, they've got some good players, West Ham, and they've got a good manager. Slaven's a good manager and he knows what he's doing. So they're in good hands.
They've had a few injury concerns this week. Andy Carroll hasn't been training this week. Is that good news from your perspective to hear?
I think Andy Carroll will play.
You don't think there'll be
No,
issues there?
I don't. No, I think he'll play.
Gareth Southgate is supposed to be watching the game. Do you think Andy Carroll deserves a call-up to his squad?
I won't be picking Gareth's side. I'll let Gareth pick his side. I've got enough problems of my own here picking my side Saturday with all the players fit.
What do you make to his recent form, though?
No, he's a good player, Andy Carroll, for all the criticism and stuff that surrounds him. When he's fit, if he plays the games, the Premier League, 38 games, you would expect him to get between 15 and 20 goals. And those players are priceless. So Andy's only problem over the years has been the fact that he has picked up injuries. But if you keep him fit, then he is a good player. And he's not just, people think he's one-dimensional. He's actually got great feet as well. He scores some wonderful goals technically. He's excellent, not just with his head.
Should Gareth Southgate be keeping his eye on any of your players? Craig Dawson, perhaps?
Again, that'll be up to Gareth. Gareth can do what he wants to do. I'm not concerned about doing Gareth's job.
Now, if you do manage to beat West Ham, it opens up the gap between yourselves and them just below you. How positive for you is to see is that you could create that big gap between 8th and 9th?
No, I think the important thing is just to go there and make sure we put a performance in. I think every game we play and every team that we play against, we've got the utmost respect, and we've done very well so far. The important thing is to keep it going. There's 14 games to go. It's a long stretch yet, and we've got to keep our feet on the ground and recognise and understand why we've been successful, and make sure we keep doing those basics well. And if we get the result, they're brilliant. If we don't, then as long as the players work hard and put a performance in, then that's all I ask from them. That's all our supporters ask. And like I say, we're taking 3,000. We sold out 3,000 supporters there Saturday. It's good times for the football club.
After the game, you go into a 2-week break, no game for a couple of weeks. Is it important to go into that on the back of a positive result if you can?
I've been in it a long time. Sometimes you go in on a positive result, on a negative result. You have to, just ride with it and make sure that when Bournemouth comes along, we're prepared as well as we can for that Bournemouth game. At the moment, it's all about West Ham. As soon as that game's finished, we'll concentrate then on the next game, which is Bournemouth.
For those teams not involved in the FA Cup, some will take advantage and maybe go away for a few days with the team. Are you planning to do that with West Brom?
No, we'll give the players a few days off, and we've encouraged them to go away with their families if they want to go away.
Do you think that's important to kind of take advantage and have that rest?
Well, we've got the opportunity to have a few days break, and the players deserve a few days break. But like I said, we won't be doing it collectively. They can take their families away, they can take the children away and spend more time with their families.